Tonight on DC News Now, lawmakers racing back to the Capitol to vote on reopening the government. Why Democrats are skeptical. The FAA increasing flight cancellations, leaving travelers to consider other options.
Taking the train was a no-brainer, given that the airports are hairy at best and unpredictable, I would say.
The latest from the Transportation Secretary as you finalize your Thanksgiving plans.
We're still tracking a cold night ahead, but thankfully not nearly as cold as what we had early this morning. I'll have more details and tell you how to warm up coming up.
We are celebrating our veterans across the DMV.
Your legacy continues to inspire us.
The tributes throughout the region.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Tonight on DC News Now at 9, all eyes are on the House. Lawmakers rushing back to Capitol Hill to vote on reopening the government. Hi, everyone. I'm Susan Tran. Chris Flanagan has a night off. Let's take a live look right now at Capitol Hill. And a small group of Democrats in the Senate last night voted with Republicans to finally forward a compromise bill. It's now with the House, where the Democratic House Minority Leader, Hakeem Jeffries, says he expects they will oppose the bill. But unlike the Senate, the House only needs a simple majority to pass the proposal. Now, the bill would fund the government through January 30th, also pay for programs like SNAP and reverse President Trump's mass firing of federal workers that he made during the shutdown. But it does not include in the legislation the key demand from Democrats, which is to extend the tax credits for Affordable Care Act. The House could vote on these proposals as early as tomorrow, then send it over to the president to sign. Travelers are hoping for an end to the shutdown. There was another 1,200 flights canceled today as airlines are trying to comply with the FAA's order to reduce trips by 6% to reach that 10% goal by Friday. The Transportation Secretary says the outlook at 40 major airports is improving.
Depends on controllers coming back to work. Today is a good sign. We had 4 staffing triggers today. On Saturday, there were 81. I think Sunday was 53. So we are going to look at the data and make the best decisions possible to keep the traveling public safe.
The staffing triggers that the Secretary is referring to is when flight operations have to be changed due to a lack of air traffic controllers. The uncertainty has sent so many families to hop on trains. DC News Now's Daniel Hamburg joining us live there at Union Station. And Daniel, has it been busy over there?
It has been, Susan. A steady stream of people coming into Union Station with their suitcases. Of course, that air travel is top of mind for everybody, so travel by train or even by bus is a better option. All aboard Amtrak. Travelers at Union Station are making sure they get to their destinations on time.
Taking the train was a no-brainer, given that the airports are hairy at best and unpredictable, I would say.
Jennifer Wu is one of many people ditching the skies for the rails after her flight Sunday from Denver to New York.
My flight was to take off, I think, at 7:30, and we didn't take off for 7 hours later, and I deplaned my plane twice and reboarded it 3 times before it left.
Hopping on a train avoids all that.
I just wanted to take the train. But I'm really happy I did because everyone's flight is getting canceled. So this was a very chill trip for me.
A lot of my colleagues who were here for work are taking the train, and I think probably some of them would have flown otherwise.
An Amtrak spokesperson said in a statement, as air travel becomes less reliable, more riders are choosing the convenience of rail, a trend that began before the government shutdown and any flight cancellations.
Obviously, it's going to take a little more time than flying, but if there's some certainty that you're going to get there, without significant delays, I think depending on where you're going, what your travel plans entail, it certainly is a viable and smart option for many people.
Right now, all eyes are on Thanksgiving travel.
I'm supposed to go to Disney with my family, and I have 3 little kids, and they're going to be really surprised if we jump in our minivan and drive all the way to Florida. If that's what it takes, I think that's probably what's going to happen.
Now, late last month, before this air traffic mess was happening, Amtrak said that they are expecting a record-setting year for Thanksgiving travel on trains, so they encourage people to book their tickets now. AAA is coming out with their Thanksgiving travel forecast next week. We're live at Union Station in Northeast. Daniel Hamburg, DC News Now.
Great advice on alternative there, Daniel. Thank you. New tonight, federal funding for the food program SNAP will stay paused for now. The Supreme Court agreeing to continue to block full payments until midnight Thursday. Reopening the government would restart the program that helps 42 million people buy groceries, but it's not clear how quickly full payments would resume once the shutdown ends. And we're going to continue to bring you the very latest developments from Capitol Hill, both on air and online at dcnewsnow.com. All right, let's talk about our very chilly forecast. Well, it was very chilly and winter-like today. Chief Meteorologist Jackie Lair, we're all just hoping for a warm-up at this point.
We will be tracking that warm-up through the end of the week, thankfully. I mean, today was the coldest day of the work week by far. Tomorrow we'll be back in those upper 50s, but again, it's going to be a cold night ahead. We're already seeing those temperatures dropping back in those low to mid 30s, especially north and west of the district. D.C. just dropped into the upper 30s not too long ago. We still have a bit of that wind chill, making it feel a little bit colder than those actual air temperatures. Those wind chills tonight won't be quite as drastic as what we had early this morning, thankfully. But again, it's still going to be cold out there nonetheless into your Wednesday morning commute. At least wind chills right now, mid upper 20s to 30s for most of the area, 37. So it feels like in D.C. So just 2 degrees below the actual air temperature at this point. Satellite and radar showing us the potential for some snow showers breaking out back out towards westernmost parts of Maryland right now. Rest of the area should be remaining dry. Noticing some more of those clouds building in. You may have heard some whispers about northern lights potentially being seen overnight tonight and also later on tomorrow night. Keep a close eye on that forecast for that. But right now we're seeing a bit more of those clouds building in. You might not be able to see it with the naked eye tonight, but tomorrow night you could be able to see some of those northern lights as far south as our area. So something that we're keeping a close eye on. But overnight lows tonight, it's going to be cold, low to mid 30s. I'll have more details on that warm up in just a few minutes.
All right, Jackie, thank you. We have a DC News Now exclusive. Passengers on a plane to DCA last night recalling the really frightening moments when they learned the cockpit window had cracked mid-flight. The captain telling everyone they needed to be diverted over to Ohio because of a mechanical issue. DC News Now's Ben Dennis was on that flight. He joins us live from Reagan National. And Ben, what frightening moments on board.
Yeah, indeed. Once we got a closer look, the pilot initially said that we would not be landing here at Reagan National Airport because of a maintenance issue. We started asking some questions, at least to ourselves, only to learn that it was much more of a concern because of that cracked window once we got a closer look. A splintered sight in the cockpit of an American Airlines flight Monday night. A cracked window above the controls, visible to passengers after making a precautionary landing in Columbus, Ohio.
Ladies and gentlemen, the aircraft that you're going to use to continue on to D.C. is right next door.
My journey back to D.C. started in Palm Springs, California. Next stop, Chicago. After waiting 2 hours to take off on American Airlines Flight 4435, we got on board a regional jet operated by Republic Airways. Tracking data on FlightAware shows we cruised at 35,000 feet, going 535 miles an hour just before descending around 11:10 p.m. The message on the loudspeaker? A maintenance issue, and we divert to Columbus, Ohio. Once on the ground, the pilot said our plane was not airworthy and we'd board another one.
I consider it unairworthy at this point. Good news, we have a good and safe aircraft right next to us. We'll hop over there, get resituated, get turned away to our nation's capital.
While making our way off the plane, I asked the crew how the window cracked. What caused that?
We don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks, guys. American Airlines says they'll investigate and lauded the flight crew, saying safety is the center of everything at American. We never want to disrupt our customers' travel plans and apologize for the inconvenience this has caused.
We do appreciate your patience. Apologize for the inconvenience.
An audio between the cockpit and air traffic controllers appeared to say that there were 80 of us on board that flight at the time that this maintenance issue was cited. Later we learned, of course, of that crack in the window. The good news here, nobody was hurt. The bad, because of increasing delays, we didn't land here at Reagan National Airport until 3:11 this morning. A loss of sleep. At Reagan National Airport in Arlington, Ben Dennis, back to you.
All right, some scary moments there. Glad you got some sleep, Ben. Thank you. Across the country and here in the DMV, we are honoring the men and women who have served and sacrificed for the country on Veterans Day. President Trump marking the occasion over at Arlington National Cemetery. the Vice President and Secretary of Veterans Affairs, joining him for this service, where they placed a wreath there at the tomb of the unknown soldier. In his remarks, the President spoke about the importance of the day.
Each of you has earned the respect and the gratitude of our entire nation. We love you, we salute you, and we will never forget what you have done to keep America safe, sovereign, and free. Thank you very much.
Several World War II veterans gathering for the ceremony at the National Memorial there at the mall, and they placed a wreath at the Freedom Wall, paying tribute to the fallen. The buzz in Maryland on Veterans Day, a local barbershop in Charles County that gives service members a free haircut. DC News Now's Tim Reed takes us inside for this annual tradition.
More than 40 veterans got free haircuts today at this barbershop in Waldorf, Maryland, as a way to honor their service. I spoke to several veterans who appreciate what's being done to pay tribute to them.
We're here to support and defend, and we definitely appreciate those that appreciate us and will give back to us in times like this.
Colonel Crystal Hills is happy to get a free haircut on Veterans Day. She's active duty military and serves in the United States Army. She's based at Fort McNair in D.C. at the National Defense University.
I'm very grateful that they're offering the services to the veterans across the local area. It's a great time, especially in our climate right now, where some may not be able to afford certain things.
Dozens of other veterans also sat in the barber chair to get a free haircut, shoulder massage, facial, and they also get their hair washed for no charge. That included John Chappelle. He is a retired master sergeant who served nearly 30 years in the Air Force.
It's really, really appreciated that so many businesses are opening up their hearts and pocketbooks to the veterans.
And all the hairstylists get a kick out of putting smiles on so many faces on Veterans Day who serve our country.
It's important to support the community. They've been there to serve us, and so we just want to be there to help serve them.
You really appreciate Americans that are giving back to Americans.
Free haircuts is an annual tradition here. They've been doing it for 9 years. In Waldorf, Maryland, Tim Reed, DC News Now.
Hello, everybody. What? As we approach Veterans Day, I wanted to stop by and just say thank you for your extraordinary service to you, your family.
A lot of surprised looks there when former President Obama saluting our veterans with a surprise at Reagan National. He got on board this honor flight that came in from Wisconsin, and he thanked the 87 Korean and Vietnam War veterans, as well as their family, for their service and sacrifice. He then handed out presidential challenge coins as a token of his gratitude.